All right, as promised, in the house with us today, Randy Z, Chef Randy Z from Cultivate Culinary, Cooking School and Catering. Good to have you with us today, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Getting ready for the big weekend. You know, a lot of grills will be fired up this coming weekend and Monday for Memorial Day.
Yes, this is a great dish you can make on the grill, or if you don't want to tie up the grill, you can do it in the oven also. Really simple.
So we're talking about, this is a sirloin wrapped asparagus.
Asparagus wrapped with sirloin. We're going to put some flavor in there with some shiitake mushrooms, and then we're going to do a garlic herb boursin style cheese inside. Then we're going to rub the outside with a little miso paste.
Now it sounds like you're getting way exotic.
No,
here
it's not exotic. It's just what they, you make your soup out of the miso, but it's used so much now with fish and meat and everything as a flavor profile. And you'll know when you taste it what I mean. Not going to salt it, not going to season it, not going to do anything. Want nature to come out. We're going to blanch the asparagus first. That way we're not overcooking the beef. Trying to get the asparagus inside.
Otherwise, if you don't do that,
dense.
Your beef's going to either be overcooked to get your asparagus, or your beef will be right, and then your asparagus will be just way too hard.
Exactly. So we're going to just, blanching's just a drop in it. Now, I take off the woodsy ends, as they call it.
Yes.
You see all that? There's the theory, do you break it, do you cut it? I like cutting it, especially in this application, because I can get everything the same length,
size.
so when I roll it, I'm not having pieces stick all over the place.
Okay, so
that's going to be a smooth minute and a half.
And that's water and?
Just water.
Just water, okay.
Don't say salt. You know how I am about that.
No.
So we're going to blanch that. Now the shiitake mushrooms, we just want to take the stem off because it's pretty firm. It's really hard to get through even when you chew it. We got those cut up. And then a piping bag, I just use a sandwich bag. Cut the corner out.
Boursin cheese, which is?
That is like a cream cheese, herb, and garlic flavor right there. So,
did you make that yourself, or can you buy that?
No, you can buy that in a couple of different brands. Boursin is a brand. You make it yourself. It's just garlic, your favorite herbs, fresh herbs, cream cheese. And if it gets too thick, you want to thin it out with a little heavy cream.
Okay.
It's pretty rich. It's got some pretty good intense flavor to it.
Now, as long as you get your asparagus in there, how long are we keeping them in there to
I'm going a minute and a half on that, and then we're going to splash it in an ice bath to stop that cooking process. And it's easier to handle when it's not so hot. Okay, so if we would freeze this and put it up for the winter, as they say, to go back to it because it's a harvest time. It's spring, so asparagus is going now. I use shiitakes because they're affordable. Morels would be awesome in this, but $25 a pound, I'm not going there.
It is morel season, though.
Yes, it is. So, and it's asparagus season. That's why I chose this. So a minute and a half, and we're going to splash it. So if we're freezing a lot, like a half a bushel or something, we blanch it before we freeze it, or it's going to go bad on you.
Okay.
Because you have to blanch it to get the cooking process. It makes them vibrant color.
So if you're going to freeze asparagus, you don't want to do it raw.
Correct.
Wow, did not know that.
Same with your green beans and everything else. You need to blanch them first. It has to do with the enzymes. I'm not going to go to science class with you right now.
So now if you wanted to freeze that, you could chill it and then wrap it in...
Put it in a Ziploc, get the air out of it, and freeze it. And then it's going to come back to you.
Did not know that.
So all your frozen vegetables are blanched, even if you buy them at the store.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just going to get that cooled off so you can handle it. That stops the cooking process.
Right.
Similar to making pasta. And going to have a cold pasta salad. We want to splash that down, stop the cooking process on the pasta. And speaking of, before I forget, pasta, I had such a wonderful time when your parents were in town and cooked for me.
Yeah, that was good.
It was one of the most...
We had a good night.
Most beautiful things that I didn't have to cook, and they took such good care of me. I just want to thank them for that.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Randy. So now this is a sirloin, but this is actually, it's not a sirloin strip. This is a top sirloin.
Yep. Slice it thin.
How did you do that? I was going to ask you when I saw
I have
these.
a slicer.
Oh, okay. But a butcher could do it, maybe?
Okay, yeah. You can have your butcher do it, or if you just have a sirloin steak, or you get the top, or any piece of meat you can afford, it gets bubble gummy when you try to cut it real thin, and you end up with wedges. So what you would want to do is put it in the freezer, wrap it, put it in the freezer for 20 to 30 minutes. That tightens it up, and it allows you to cut it thinner in a more even manner. Instead of trying to wrestle the meat as it moves around on there.
Did you pound this out at all?
It's not pounded at all.
Just thin sliced.
Okay, so now we have our meat down. We're going to put 2 in of our asparagus and just get our bag and pipe that cheese on there.
All righty. Oh, look at that. You've done this before.
Just use a sandwich bag. You don't have to buy special pastry bags. Lay on there, mushroom.
Great.
Come in with another piece.
Okay, so 3 pieces of the triangle of asparagus, boursin cheese.
Turn it. I'm going at an angle, so I'm filling the void here.
Very good.
And then we'll set that on a baking sheet. Let's get that right there.
Good. Now, for a grill or something, you want to put a toothpick through that, a wet toothpick, or just leave it as is?
Well, you could if you could. It's you see I laid it down on the cut.
Yep. Yep.
As long as you start on the cut down on the grill first, it should sear itself shut, and then you roll it over. Again, with your grill, make sure that you have it brushed off and it's seasoned. You know, you can go over it with a little vegetable oil or something first, and that'll help your sticking process. And toothpick's fine, but then you forget to take the toothpick out.
Some time ago, you said you don't necessarily clean your grill down to the bare metal. You want to keep those flavors.
Yes, it's kind of like cast iron. Don't you dare put soap in a cast iron.
Right.
That's not good. So my grill's just wire brushed off, and then any debris that's on it gets taken off.
It'll burn off by itself too.
Yep. And I'm not going to go on there and scrub and scrub and scrub down to steel. You know, I'm back to stainless steel. I want that flavor. So.
Have we used this yet?
No, we're going to baste it up when we get on there.
Okay.
So the miso's just soybeans, and that brand there has soybeans, a little bit of rice mixed with it, and some salt.
And now, where do you find this? Because obviously the rest, I know Martin's in your normal supermarkets, Kroger's, and others will carry all this, even the Orson. But the miso, will they have that in the specialty section?
Yeah, usually in the specialty aisle. But the thing I've been noticed with some of the super grocery stores is they don't have the refrigeration in the specialty aisle. So this is a little harder to find. I visit all our ethnic stores in our area, constantly shopping. Yep, Asian market, and get it there. Okay, so now I'm just going to take that and just lightly brush that.
Okay. On your meat.
And we're going to go 400 because I'm doing an oven because we don't have a grill here.
Right, we're inside today.
Okay, 400 degrees for 8 minutes.
400 degrees for 8 minutes. Okay,
and you're going to take it out. You can slice it up as appetizers or serve it with rice. On
a grill, what, medium high?
Yeah, I'd go medium.
Okay.
Medium heat.
You don't want to get it raging hot.
Exactly, because you got to let that asparagus come up to temperature. You know, so on a holiday weekend when Dad's out grilling and
boy, look at that
oven. You can just do it in the oven and save you some time because 8 minutes you can be occupied doing your vegetables or your corn or anything outside on a grill and have the oven take care of the rest of it for you. So we'll take that, we pop that in the oven, like I said, 8 minutes.
Right.
And magic of TV, we come back out. And look, it even multiplied.
Look at that.
Okay, so there we have it. We have our cheese just melted a little bit.
Yeah.
And as you see, it won't unwrap because we started on the cut side down. So we'll take that.
Very good. Looks
and then appetizer-wise, you can just go ahead, and if you're serving a lot of people, you can put your toothpick there now if you'd like.
Now you can, and you have a little hors d'oeuvre or...
Okay, so you can go on your apps like so, and serve that out. And then if you want entree, you can go ahead, and I prepared a little, because you guys always eat me out of house and home when I'm here.
I know,
prepared a little rice.
The studio's filling up with staff right now.
Okay,
see, Pastor Charles is back there.
Yeah.
Valerie's here.
Okay, so
let me just move on in.
Come on in, Val.
So we can just serve a little rice, and then you can take it out for a dinner, just like so.
Oh wow!
I know what I'm doing this week, and I'll tell you what.
I know. Look at that.
My wife and daughter are always excited when you come, Randy, because I come home all ready to go.
All geared up, ready to cook.
Got my recipe printed out from the Harvest Facebook page, and we give it a whirl at home, and
here we go.
They love it.
Well, you eat like we did when I was over here, folks, that every time they're in town, I'm just going to be knocking on the door. That was awesome.
It is so good.
I got to get in
Well,
there.
the freshness of it and the beef.
It is. It feels so fresh. It's
usually
so
traditionally
fresh.
done with prosciutto, okay, but this is a heartier version. And, you're outside grilling, you want a little heartiness to it, guy kind of thing, meat.
Who's that? Bob, look at Doc Nagel.
He's sneaking.
He's trying to get in onto my...
My wife called and said, bring something with asparagus home. That'd be great. She loves asparagus.
Okay, I'll just grab the asparagus. You can take me home.
There you go.
I brought something with asparagus.
And this adds the perfect flavor.
You get your little saltiness out of
yes,
it, but
you do.
It gives that a nice texture. Goes good with the earthiness of the mushrooms.
Very good. So. Well, thank you so much, Randy Z, joining us today here on The Harvest Show to pick up this recipe of fantastic sirloin wrapped asparagus. You can go to our Facebook page and print yourself off a copy, run out and get some things this weekend and enjoy it on the grill, either as an appetizer or as a main this coming weekend or even on Memorial Day. You can find out more about Cultivate Culinary School and Catering, fantastic nonprofit organization that's helping youth in our area, by going to cultivateculinary.com. As always, you can go to our website, harvest-tv.com, and find a connection there as well. More to come in just a minute.
So